Assignment 1, Wireless Network Technologies, IT 5040. This is my details. You can see here my registration number. Okay, first of all we have to identify what are the fundamentals of communication. Then we can identify wireless communication easily. There are few fundamentals like analog digital signals, signal conversion, bandwidth requirements, transmission medium, protocols, standards, ISO OSI 7 layer, TCP/IP protocol, fundamentals of wireless transmission and error handling. Okay, now we have to identify how this communication will happen between two parties. First, the sender send some messages through receiver. There are various kind of electronic devices, so their manufacturers are very varied. So therefore we have to define some one method to communicate these bit machines. So that is where this protocol is came from. The protocol is set of instruction. It will provide some instruction to maintain one proper methods. So that so then we can communicate easily. Okay, now you can see here, this is simple example. If we want to communicate our voice signal through transmission media, first of all we have to convert that, because our voice is mechanical signal. The electronic devices cannot understand mechanical signal, so therefore we have to convert that mechanical signal into analog or digital signal. Then we can do the communication. Okay, now you can see here, after converting that signals, we have to convert analog signal and digital signal in between. So the method that we called as a pulse code modulation. There are three types of steps: sampling, quantizing and encoding. This method is used to convert these signals. First we send some messages into other side, then at that side the device will identify the pulse modulation in these signals. Then he will give some levels into those signals. Then they will encode that signals into some binary values. Then we can convert into digital signal. Okay, now we have to talk about communication standards. In this world there are various kind of devices manufacturers, and they are varied according to the region wise, country wise, likewise various kind of variation out there. So we have to maintain some proper method to make these devices. That is where these standards came from. There are various kind of standards: ISO, ITUT, ANSI, IEEE, EIA. These standards help us to help manufacturers to set of guidelines. Then they can design their devices according to those standards. Then every devices go through this standard. Then the communication will be very easy. Okay, now we have to talk about the layered architecture. With the development of the technology, the scientists thought that if the communication technology divided into layered will be easy. So therefore the manufactured various kind of devices can connect easily. We can have various kind of architecture like OSI ISO 7 layer and TCP IP layer. Okay, first we have to identify OSI ISO 7 layer. Okay, let's dive into one by one. First we have application layer. In application layer consists with the application interact with the end user, such as web browsers, email clients, like various kind of applications. Various kind of applications consist in application layer, and there are various kind of protocols in application layer like HTTP, FTP, IRC, SHS and DNS. HTTP used for communication protocol, and file transfer protocol is FTP. SSH is used for secure connections. DNS is a domain name service. Okay, next one is presentation layer. When the data coming from application layer to the presentation layer will handle those data. It will convert those data and add security features like encryption and SSL, those kind of things doing in present. The session layer is help to set up and managing various connection. This layer create communication channel to communicate between devices. We are naming those channel as sessions. This are responsible to create a session, process the communication of the end session and the end of communication. Session layer has helped us such as API function, its tasks. Okay, next is transport layer. This layer controls reliability of communication through segmentation. Flow control and error control happens in this layer, and in segmentation the data that received from session layer is divided into small units called segments. Each segment contains destination, source, port number and sequence number. In flow controls, the amount of the data being transmitted. It will control the data flow speed and reduce the data loss. It has control methods like automatic repeat request. Okay, then network layer. Network layer is responsible for transmitting received data from one computer to another computer. Small data units are called packets, and the routes work in this layer. Function of this layer are logical addressing, path determination and routing. There are various kind of protocols are there: IP, ICMP, IPsec, IGMP likewise. Data link layer. This layer breaks packet into frames and send. This layer has two parts: logic link control and media access control. We will gonna discuss this about in future in this video. Logic link control part is responsible for identifying network protocol error, identifying and packet synchronization. MAC address helps to connect devices. There are various protocols like Ethernet, PPP, switch and bridge. Finally, we have physical layer. It is a physical infrastructure of a network like wires, hubs, repeaters like coax fiber, wireless hubs, repeaters likewise. We should use suitable manner to transfer these signals to the free space. First we should enhance the frequency, because naturally these signals are low frequency. So the method that we are used to convert low frequency signal to the high frequency signals is modulation. Depending on the signal type, we can divide it into two types. You can see here analog modulation and digital modulation. Analog modulation method are amplitude modulation and frequency modulation and phase modulation. Digital modulation methods are frequency shift key, amplitude shift key, phase shift key. Furthermore, we have to discuss the versions of PSK, like BPSK, bipolar phase shift key, QPSK, quadro phase shift key, 16 PSK, 32 PSK. There is combined method in digital modulation, like quadrature amplitude modulation. Okay, after modulating the signals, we should transport. When we are transporting these signals, can be messed up with various kind of methods, so that we should avoid that method. Therefore we use like frequency division multiple access, time division multiple access, spread spectrum, collision detection, code division multiple access, orthogonal frequency division multiple access. Likewise, various kind of methods we have. Using these multiple methods, we can communicate multiple users without having any interference. And when we are communicating, we should use antenna. Therefore, various antenna based technologies we can identify. When communicating, we can combine few signal into one signal, called multiplexing. Okay, next we have to identify error controlling methods. When data going through the network, there can be errors. Minimize the errors, we can have to do few things, such as error detection and error correction. When we are communicating, we send data as a frame. The generated frame copy is kept in sender side. If there was an error, the system will identify the error and it will send automatically again that frame. That method is called backward error correction. There are various kind of error correction methods, like go back and then selective reject. Likewise, detected error correction is called forward error correction. If data is received, the receiver and send acknowledgement. If did not received, we send negative acknowledgement, called NAC. The sending frames we store in a small memory called transmit buffer, and a receiver side we store that data is called received buffer. Okay, next we have to talk about flow control. When the buffer is overflow in receiver side, we inform it to the other side. Then sender side perform this task. We use calling, we call that as a flow control methods. There are few flow control methods, like stop and wait, sliding window methods. Okay, first protocol is stop and wait. In this mechanism, it pushes the sender after the data is transmitted to stop and wait for the receiver's end. to get the acknowledgement of the frame, the received end. The second data frame is sent over the medium only after the first acknowledgement is received, and the process will go on. Okay. Next method is sliding window protocol. In this process, both the sender and the receiver will decided the number of frames after which the acknowledgement should be exchanged. This process is time saving, as fewer resources are used in the flow control process. In this layer, we have CSM CD, carrier sense multiple access collision detection protocols, and synchronization. Both devices between which data sharing is taking place should be in synchronization, because both ends should be aware about the data transfer. And layer 2 switches. Layer 2 switches are the devices which forward the data to the next layer on the basis of physical address. First, it gathers the MAC address of the devices, the port which the frames is received, and later learn the destination of the MAC address from the address table and forward the frame to the destination of next layer. If the destination host address is not specified, then it simply broadcasts the data frame to the all the ports, except the one from which it learned the address of sources. Finally, slide-in window protocol use bridges is two-part devices which work on the data link layer. This is used to connect two LAN networks. In addition to this, it behaves like a repeater. Okay, now we have to talk about the MAC protocol. There are various media access controlling methods, such as carrier sense multiple access methods. In this method, first sense the carrier about traffic or collisions, then the multiple device can communicate easily. In CSMA has variations of methods. It can detect collisions. We called CSMA CD. It can avoid the collision. We called it CSMA CA. The basic idea behind CSMA CD is that a station need to be able to receive while transmitting to detect a collision. When there is no collision, the station receives one signal, its own signal. When there is a collision, the station receives two signals, its own signal and the transmitted by the second station. To distinguish between these two cases, the received signals in those two cases must be significantly different. In other words, the signals from the second station need to add a significant amount of energy to the one created by first station. In wired network, the received signal has almost same energy as the sent signal, because either length of the cable is short or there is a repeaters that amplify the energy between the sender and receiver. This means that in a collision we detect energy almost doubles. However, in a wireless network, much of energy sent and lost in transmission. The received signal has very little energy. Therefore, collision may be at only 5 to 10%. Additional energy. This is not useful for effective collision detection. We need to avoid collisions on wireless network because they cannot be detected. CSMA ICA carrier sense multiple access with collision avoidance was invented for this network. Collisions are avoided through the use of CSMA ICA 3 strategies: the interframe space, the contention window, and acknowledgement. Okay, now we have to discuss the IEEE 8.0.11 wireless protocol. This defines a specification for wireless LAN called IEEE 8.0.11, which covers the physical and data link layers. Okay, now we have to identify the architecture. The standard definition: two kind of services. Now you can see in this picture, one is basic services set and the other is extended service set. Okay, now we move on to the basic service set. This protocol defines the basic service set of the building block of wireless LAN. A basic service set is made of stationary or mobile wireless stations and optional central base station known as the access point. Now you can see here the AP shows the access point. The BSS without AP, a standalone network, cannot send data to other BSS. It is called an ad hoc architecture. In this architecture, a station can form a network without the need of an AP. They can locate another and agree to be part of BSS. A BSS with an AP is sometimes referred as an infrastructure network. The other type is extended service set. Extended service set is made up with two or more BSS with an APs. In this case, the BSS are connected to distribution system. Now you can see here in this we can see a distributed system, which is usually wired LAN. The distributed system connects the APs in the BSS. This protocol does not restrict the distribution systems. It can be any IEEE LAN such as Ethernet. The mobile station are normal stations inside BSS. The stationary stations are AP stations that are the part of wired LAN. When the BSS are connected, the station within reach out of another can communicate without the use of an AP. BSS usually occurs via two APs. The idea is similar to the communication in cellular network. If we consider each BSS to be a cell and each AP to be a base station, it can belong more than one BSS at the same time. Okay, now we have to discuss about MIMO and beamforming related to the wire antenna theory. Basically, MIMO is a 5G wireless technology providing increases in throughput and signal noise ratio. The long word of MIMO is multiple input, multiple output. This is well established for mobile communication as well as many other technologies. It is used to Wi-Fi 802 and 11, and it is central part of 4G LTE as well as many other radio communication technologies. As a result of the demand, base stations are being installed with 5G massive MIMO antennas, and users equipment are also able to accommodate MIMO operation to enhance the overall performance. Using MIMO antennas and beamforming in 5G technology is able to offer increased capacity and data speed. The 4G LTE specification allow us to use up to 8 spatial layer in the downlink and 4 spatial layer in uplink. In reality, the deployed 4G LTE networks may use 2 or 4 spatial layers to enhance the performance. To develop from the basic MIMO used in 4G LTE to the 5G massive MIMO formats, using large number of elements enable the 5G MIMO antenna to provide MIMO and beamforming capabilities. Now in this picture you can see how the MIMO antennas works. Okay, thank you. We can see now here our resources. Okay, thank you.